Disney is dying. Their last 5 movie releases, 3 of which were part of already recognizable IP, have bombed at the box office, losing the company $1 billion.
This is back to back to back to back. It's becoming a trend with Disney.
This is following 2022, which was full of box office disappointments, along with Star Wars and Marvel TV shows that were released to ever-reducing audience interest.
I cannot finish the shows. They're so boring.
I just feel like Disney has just...
The company has lost $140 billion in valuation since February 2021. Unable to deny the catastrophic failures, Disney CEO Bob Iger has blamed a lack of focus and an emphasis on quantity instead of quality.
Quantity, in our case, diluted quality, and Marvel suffered greatly from that.
He's promising to take action to cut down on the projects and refocus efforts. But is this enough to revive the once magical entertainment company that brought to the screen some of the greatest animated features, and for now holds the keys to the future of Marvel and Star Wars? Can Bob Iger undo the damage of going woke? Can Disney be saved? For much of Disney's existence, it has enjoyed the reputation of making the impossible possible.
Unreal.
In other words, Disney was magic. This reputation was painstakingly earned through the hard efforts of the company's eponymous founder, the great Walt Disney. Walt believed in the power of imagination and dreaming big, saying if you can dream it, you can do it. He understood that success rarely came overnight and emphasized the importance of perseverance and hard work in achieving one's goals. Walt pioneered the animation industry, constantly pushing the boundaries of innovation and creativity. He believed in taking risks and experimenting with new ideas to stay ahead of the curve. At the same time, he was uncompromising when it came to the quality of his work. He believed in delivering the highest standard of entertainment to his audience and paid meticulous attention to details in all aspects of his productions. Most importantly, Disney had an optimistic outlook on life and encouraged his employees to maintain a positive attitude even in the face of the most formidable challenges. It was this combination of hard work, imagination, focus on quality, and optimism that made Disney the most successful entertainment company in the world, and Walt himself into an inspiration for all the dreamers to come. Fast forward to 2024, when an unnamed Disney executive was asked about what Walt Disney would say about the direction the company had taken, their succinct response was, Walt. By the way, that's from Alan from Film Threat, reporting on what he has learned about the current inner workings at the company for a series called The D-Files. Alan, a lifelong admirer of Disney, is trying to understand what happened to the once respected company and has been piecing together the answer thanks to information from insiders. What he has found is that Disney's corporate culture is toxic. In the past, the company attracted the top talent, the most passionate storytellers and animators seeking out the opportunity to walk the halls and contribute to the company's body of work. Inspired by the visionary ethos of the company's founder, Disney's culture upheld an unwavering commitment to excellence.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
It thrived as a meritocratic environment where exceptional talent naturally rose to the top. In recent years, the company's leadership has made a significant shift in strategy. Rather than prioritizing aptitude, diligence, and enthusiasm in their hiring and promotion practices, Disney has begun to incorporate factors such as skin color, sexual orientation, and disability into their decision-making processes regarding opportunity allocation. Opportunities are no longer solely determined by one's capabilities, but are now allocated based on individual identity, with the understanding that diversity brings unique perspectives to the table. Thanks to an insider, we can see the inclusion requirements in place at Disney today for the general entertainment division. For on-screen representation, the new standard requires that at least 50% of regular and recurring characters and the actors who play them should come from underrepresented groups. The premise and storytelling of the shows should have meaningful integration of underrepresented groups in overall themes. Regarding creative leadership, at least 50% of producers, directors, and writing staff should come from underrepresented groups, and the casting director should either be from an underrepresented group or not have previously worked on a Disney show in this role. Similar requirements have been implemented for all the other roles for creating entertainment, with specific number of goals needing to be met by each and every department. One might say that the company should be praised for proactively making these changes, but a more unfavorable view, and perhaps a more accurate one, is that Disney's executives, motivated by short-term gains, have seen that diversity, equity, and inclusion policies are particularly popular among certain online vocal groups, and an alliance with these voices might propel them to further profits.
You will make lots of money.
While the box office numbers of the projects created under the direction of DEI policies initially remained strong, the numbers have quickly fallen, culminating in the 5 failures in a row of 2023. The most recent entry into that pitiable club was Wish, a movie intended to pay homage to the 100 years of Disney magic, but instead served as a reminder of Disney's drastic decline. Seeing the DEI practices in action, however, finally helps us outsiders understand why. This is the ramification of prioritizing diversity over talent. While Iger identified the lack of focus as mentioned earlier, he and the rest of the team seem to have no intention to slow or reverse any DEI policies that have steered the company into this ditch. In a letter to the board of directors, there is no mention of any shifts in strategy regarding content. Instead, they are promising to take short-term actions, such as initiating a stock buyback to artificially elevate a stock price that has fallen by 44% since March 2021.
This past summer, Disney stock hit a 9-year low with its market cap falling from $350 billion to $154 billion, a decline of, Vinny, you ready? They lost $196 billion in 1 year.
What?
Meanwhile, the executives continue to blame their favorite scapegoat, fans, protesting that it's bigotry, racism, and sexism of the fans that is preventing their new projects from taking flight. The reality is, previously loyal fans are sick of being reprimanded for being supposedly toxic, while families are increasingly rejecting the attempted indoctrination of their children.
Disney has said that they have a not at all secret gay agenda. They said this publicly, openly, in giant meetings.
Our leadership over there has been so welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda.
The heads of Disney talked about their trans kid and their non-gender binary kids, and how everybody, your kids, need to be educated in the ways of this sort of subjective individualist sexual culture.
I mean, do children really need to know about the sex lives of any cartoon characters? Is that necessary?
Even if Disney were to publicly acknowledge the DEI policies were failing them, there is no way to reverse the impact that it has had on their culture. For an organization renowned for its commitment to hiring top talent and fostering excellence, suddenly prioritizing demographics over merit is like adding poison to a well. Employees who once dedicated themselves to delivering their best work, aspiring to advance within the company, now find themselves disheartened by the realization that their opportunities hinge on factors beyond their control, like their skin color. Instead of rewarding long-serving employees who have demonstrated loyalty and passion for the company's mission, newcomers without a track record of dedication or love for the company's work leapfrog to the front of the line for coveted jobs, leaving the rest feeling demoralized and overlooked. The implementation of DEI policies has had far-reaching consequences, exemplified by the abrupt departure of John Lasseter, the esteemed visionary acquired by Disney through the purchase of Pixar. Widely regarded as a potential successor to Walt Disney himself, Lasseter's dismissal stemmed from allegations of inappropriate behavior, including hugging colleagues, alcohol consumption at events, and a reported incident of kissing a coworker. He was denied any opportunity to defend himself, and the colleagues who admired and respected him were told in no uncertain terms that if they tried to come to his defense, they too would be shown the door. This is the unforgiving and tyrannical nature of DEI policies. Hugs are considered problematic. Drinking at work events is considered problematic. I ask you, who the hell hasn't flirted with a colleague at least once? That's how I met my husband. In a DEI-first work culture, character assassinations are easy. A defense is impossible, and the workforce is quickly reduced to a fearful mass just looking to keep their heads down and toe the line. The real villains are the Disney executives who, in their search for short-term gains, invited these policies into the company. The responsibilities of executives in a creative enterprise like Disney extend beyond serving the board and pursuing self-centered interests. They bear the vital duty of cultivating an environment where creatives can thrive and receive due recognition for their contributions. Creating an atmosphere, however, that is rife with fear and unfair practices where factors like race, gender, and sexual orientation outweigh merit is the guaranteed death of creativity. Walt Disney himself established a culture rooted in merit, where excellence was paramount, and talent like Floyd Norman, the first Black animator, was hired in 1959, valued not for the color of his skin, but for his skill. The most pernicious aspect of DEI is how difficult it is to argue against, especially after it's already taken hold at a company. Attempting to explain why a diversity, equity, and inclusion-first culture is poisonous for a company is akin to making your case in front of a firing squad. From the second you start to speak, the panel has judged you based on your sex, skin color, and cataloged every supposed privilege you've benefited from, and are already drawing up your exit documents. The DEI ideology fundamentally disagrees with open discourse. It's either their way or you know the rest. Disney executives have been short-sighted for some time now. Rather than investing in fresh narratives, they've opted to recycle old stories. Instead of nurturing an environment conducive to long-term success, they've prioritized short-term gains. Worst of all, they've sacrificed their most talented individuals in pursuit of fleeting online praise and the illusion of reputation enhancement.
They fired everyone who knows how to engage in traditional storytelling without all of this woke nonsense in it. They created such a bubble over there that even if Bob Iger does say, we're not even going to release the crap, we're going to take the hit, and then starting on a day 3 years from today, we're going to relaunch Disney, he doesn't have the team to do it.
They show no regard for the company's rich history, the loyalty of its long-standing audience, or the integrity of the art itself. Their primary concern is lining their own pockets, even if it means sacrificing the success of the company. Unfortunately, the damage of their short-sighted actions cannot be reversed.
Disney has engaged in the greatest act of brand suicide that has probably ever happened in recorded history. The most beloved brand, the most goodwill. We as adults trust Disney with our children. Disney helped shape the worldview of every single adult in this country, and they created the greatest content library ever assembled in all of human history, and then they squandered it.
This is the outcome of prioritizing short-term gains over long-term success. You reap foolish rewards. While executives will continue to increase their wealth, there are values far more precious in life. Chief among them is respect, and Lord knows they've squandered all of that. The only question now is, can Elon Musk save Disney?